concerned for us all. Is it? He is us. She is us. He is us. So if you're concerned for him, do you know why I don't use my full name on here? You know why I couldn't do this until I was no longer at a job? Subscribe to my Patreon. Anyway, that felt like a thing. Y'all are like determining and diagnosing and whatever, believing, not believing, pointing out all the stuff versus like listening. And I guess that's really what it all comes down to. It always comes back to that. Y'all need to listen better, or like listen for better reasons. Yeah, listen for better reasons. Because you're just like, I'm listening to decide if I believe this or not. That helps 0 people. That did nothing. Believe. Yeah, okay. What? Your beliefs are your business. That's it. You think that's everything? Well, I can't believe it. What? That thing I just told you? What do you mean? I watch that stuff. It feels like for research purposes, but I enjoy research, so it's fun for me, but it's not like in an entertaining, like, look how crazy those ladies are. I'm like, hey, did you hear? Did you hear what they're saying? You're not listening to what they're... I don't understand how it's like the switch is off to certain critical thinking. I mean, and I guess I have to figure out, like, I have to access that part of my brain too, because I was there before, but now I question everything. I'm a question. I just listen and ask questions. I don't believe other things about what people are saying. That's different. But so then questions become accusations about the broader thing, and you're like, what? I'm asking, what's the power dynamic? And you're saying, I can't believe, like, you're furious. And I'm just curious. I get strikes, and like, I had to know. Going into this, there's so much I had to, like, there's a reason I don't use my full name, ever. And I will be soon, like in her book, I have my full name in it, right? But I don't think people realize what it is to be a Black person amongst white people. But we're like already doing so much of the protection, they don't realize so much has happened. But then we get to see ladies like this. And I've had a lady be so mad at me for my lack of acknowledgement. I just made this connection years ago. And I'm on a list, I'm on her list somewhere, and like she went, I have a video of her saying how brilliant I am. Brilliant. And that was like one of the first videos I like recorded where I was like, oh my God. And then I made a video she didn't like, and she DM'd me to tell me off about it or something, and I didn't look at it or respond to it or whatever, because I'm not in there. And I'm on a list. Like, it went so crazy. Like, that lady still, she wants the FBI to look at me. I'm serious. Like, she has built up a narrative in her head about what happened, and like, because she was triggered, and there was a wheelchair involved at some point in her life, and like, it's right, it happens to us. I forgot about that. It's just such a regular occurrence. And like, I am purposely going by White Woman Whisperer, and I identify myself with a brand. Like, there's just so many layers I have to think about and know that, like, the people who are mad at me, I have to work around that. I hate even saying it. It's still, and that is for not doing something, right? And I don't think there's enough talk about the fact that it's because he did not. It is a lack of action. She's most upset. She said he is unethical because he didn't respond to her saying she had a crush on him, which is important. She said she had a crush on him, and he didn't delve into that. He didn't ask her more about that. He was supposed to help her work through that. It's a lack of action. And so there's plausible deniability. It's like this built-in own thing that can just making meaning out of our silence. Remember when they said, if you're silent, I don't know who said it, when you die, they'll say you enjoyed it or something. I'm not sure. Something to that degree. He didn't do what she thinks he should have done. And she's not even lying. And so people are deciding white people are deciding whether they believe her or not. And then they go into what is really wrong with her. White people dig in, like they zoom in. Black women zoom out and go, see, this is how this happens. But you don't, because you don't have connections in your real life. You don't know how to distinguish between the ones you've been sold and the stories, because she keeps saying, it's my story, it's my story, it's my story. It's like factual because it's her story. It's not the story, but it's her story. And in her story, there's a meet cute and there's stolen glances. He just looked at you. You know what I mean? But it's like, that is what we talk about. And that's what happens to us, right? I just put a red flag in my comment section and you said I attacked you, right? I just put out a question that said, what is the power dynamic here? You know, I'm just putting out a question and the immediate, like, how dare you? And then to question me, they question me about my intentions and I'm a troll, I have it. Like, this is happening everywhere, and that's more important to me. Not so that you guys identify her as a problem, but like, this is how cults start. This is how just only getting confirmation, only seeking confirmation does this. And this is just like happening in front of us, and there's documentation, you're looking at it without filters, and it's access, and this is what the internet can do if we're gonna film. Henry, like, yeah, the humanizing inhuman things, like, it's why is she doing that? Where did this come from? But if someone said, I'm really struggling to see her as the victim. And that sentence to me really encapsulates the issue and the potential for white women to understand what's going on here. Why are you struggling to see her as the victim? The whole sentence. Why are you looking? She set up the victim role, and so therefore there is a victimizer. Like, this is a person telling her story on the internet in a way that conveys that he was wrong. Like, a lot of leaning, and the thing is, and this is what he should have done, and you know, this is happening to us. This is happening to black women all the time. We are not going to lunch with y'all, and that turns into something. She's not nothing happened. It's a lack of something happening being an offense to you. She survived this. She calls herself a survivor, and she believes that, and there are elements of that within you. This is your culture, whether you like it or not. You know, we accept things about our culture that we got to work through as well. This is you. This is what I am trying to tackle. Maybe that's why I'm so just like, whatever this is. Where things happen and then you say, what? But I know how to listen to a story real good. This is one of the problems I have, is that I'm an overactive listener. So if y'all could get more into the active listening instead of the believe the victim, like that. That's, if you have to say it, you shouldn't have to, that's not, what? Because y'all are throwing that at me. White women telling me, how dare I'm not sure what I've done, but the, like, serious, and then being like, as an anti-racist, blah, blah, blah. You're giving me, I think it's the same power dynamic that white people see as, like, black people have more power in conversations about this, because they can say, like, they believe black people can be racist. You know what I mean? Like, I'm against that phrase of black people can't be racist, because I just think that's rage bait. Like, I don't understand why we're saying that. Like, how, of all the things, just the phrase. the language, you know, she's mentally ill, and if you believe that, then you're talking about her language. What have I done to this lady? She's not listening to me. I'm not talking to her. But y'all are talking about her, and y'all are digging deep into what she's taken, how much, look at her eyes, and sure. Okay. But like, black women are like, see, but I've had feelings of limerence before. You know, we give you examples. Do you think we don't have issues with the power dynamic of doctors? And then white women literally telling me about institutional, like, medical issues. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's always like, she's just a person. She's not special either. You're not special, she's not special, that doctor's not special. We're all just out here living in this country where people believe themselves this much because they've been trained to. And certain people. And we, other people, have to be like, okay, accept, believe, consider, ABC. Like, we have to accept that information, believe it in terms of what just happened came true. Like, okay, she believes this. Right? And then consider it and move forward. Not just start with believe. Do you believe it? I didn't say no. You ask questions. Like, what is the power dynamic really here? Because remember, she was like, elephant in the room. I'm white. He's not. But it's fine, guys. I hear all the black women saying it's more than this. This is actually really scary behavior. We're concerned for this person we don't know. We see the community, we see the pattern of behavior. Is he good? Because we know he can't, right? We go to the doctors too, ladies. Do you think right, but y'all don't see me as human, so that's fine, that's fine. Not as human as you, with your problems and your vision of things. No, you were sold a story of stolen glances when people are just looking because you are standing there with an unnatural hair color, clothes that match each other for some reason, and then you're like angry. Anyway, what I'm saying is, yeah, Henry's more human than anyone. Well, even Henry got shut down when Henry started saying something she didn't like. She was like, okay, we're done with you. But like the proud blocking, we have to believe this. You know what I'm saying? Reasons. Her story and his story are the same. They're just they're just stories. But we say history and we're like, that's facts. Some of us know that's not true. We know when we listen to stories that sometimes, even if they're emotionally emphatic, they're not true. Yeah, it's literally just his story. And then we're like, and her story. That's white feminism. Just being like, when they said all men are created equal, they meant women too. You're gaslighting yourselves. They never said that. They literally never said that. They could have made an amendment or something, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gave them shut up rings of like amendments anyway. I don't know. So you think about it, white women are literally wound so tight, their goal is to be buttoned up. I'm not going to even say not all. I just said it by not saying it, but you know what I mean. Like, to be tightly wound, the best type of white woman is one who nothing ever. Everything's under control. So the idea that we come in and be like, you're not doing it right. That's what they hear. They're like, look at how much I'm putting into this. I'm trying so hard. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm saying, like, you could chill out. That was one of the options, and then you're yelling at me now. Why are you yelling at me now? Like, they're like, I don't know, they're like violin strings or something, and they're supposed to like be really high pitched and never feel, and then we're out here just like, what's going on? And they're just like, that's not fair, you know. Or you could just like the way I'll be like, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. Y'all are the one, what do you think it took for, it's the saying it out loud to me part. You know what I mean? Because you're allowed to think whatever you want. But by the time you're getting to the saying it to me part, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? But the scarier part is, to me, not scarier, more important is that white women realize this is not some kind of, it's a moment in time in terms of us seeing behind the curtain of the why people do certain things. But like, it's in the water, you know, like y'all are drinking it. She talks about her episodes, and she doesn't mean mental health episodes. She means like every video is an episode, and she doesn't know what to call them because they're like 5 minutes, so they're episodes. Her monologues to him, his getting content out of her, like the performance of your life is, I think, what it's like in a narcissist brain. It's like you exist in your image only. I feel like Tamara's like that and Jax is like that. It's where they have to be involved in things, like they have to be involved in the narrative. That's why she keeps talking, right? And they just want to be there, whether they like it or not, or having a good time or not. They need to be there to control the narrative, even if it's just with their presence and just saying wild things, and then getting, now they're detracted over here talking about this, now they're over here talking about this. And she could just say, you know, see, I just pick out this and be like, so that's technically what's wrong with this. Anyway, next, you know. Yeah, she recorded herself telling, and she told us that she recorded herself. Like, why are you telling us this? And she said, because no one else is doing it. Like, that's language that's very interesting too. No one else was doing it. That's not true. And you can't even, why are you so conclusive? Everything she says is very conclusive. But even that, I made my own video just kind of because I've been blah about this ever since. Said, I haven't heard anybody say anything about this yet. That's what I said, right? In my own, I haven't posted it, but like, you'll see it if you're over on page. I haven't seen anybody say this yet. Meaning, they could have said it, I just haven't seen it, right? I would never say, no one is talking about how she talked to him and said crush, which is also another thing, crush on, and he made me fall in love with him. Those are two different things. One is really knowing a person, one is literally not knowing that person. Like, a crush indicates you're not sure, you just think about this person. Like, there's a difference. And there's this interchangeableness in between, in terms that is purposeful. Whether it's not lying, but it's, I don't know, it's a pattern. It's not my responsibility to find out what her intentions are in terms of like, is she lying? Is she stupid? I'm just watching. I'm observing. Taking away, not just having a take, right? What is a takeaway from this for you? And if it's that some people are just, blah, I don't know, that's white. If it's just like this kind of like, blah. I know that's not anything. I know I didn't just say any words or describe anything, but that's what you got. So here's the thing about ChatGPT, from what I understand in terms of how I think about it, what I understand, right? And what I guess is like narcissistic traits. It's not the diagnosis. Paperwork doesn't create the thing, by the way. It doesn't exist or not exist, depend on the diagnosis from a doctor. There's a lot going on there with like, no, I don't have it because, but like, that's not the determiner. It's, you know, when they read you your rights, you had those rights before they read them too. You know that, right? But it's like that I think over time things start to just not mean things anymore. And so the power dynamic, that's why I asked the question, because I think some people, especially white women, you know, people in authority, are supposed to always just be in charge of you. You're supposed to listen to what they say. So there is a power dynamic, but that's in the whiteness, because we view doctors differently. Black people and white people view doctors differently. We see them as people who became doctors, meaning they studied doctoring. And why? We don't know. That's a person. We say, go see the lady. That's a person. Y'all are going to God's bodies. Ooh, that's what I wanted to address about the power dynamic there. But instead, people just got really mad at me. Not everybody, some people got it, but it was only black women, and I don't want black women having to see what I saw in terms of white women white-splaining medical harm. It's like, I can't even explain to you, and then they're mad at me. And then you're gonna be mad at me when I'm like, shush. And I am holding it all down, right? Because I'm here trying to help you and you're trying to school me. Ooh, that wasn't why I asked the question. You know how when a professor asks a question, but you don't see me like that. Just like, so because he's brown, she was like, obviously he's gonna be attracted to me. I've seen all the movies. He is gonna, and I'm attracted to him. So that's really what happened is she walked in, she was attracted to him, but there's this assumption and an entitlement to desire, and like, but that's not how that works. But that's what it was sold to you. You control a man's desire, you know, eye traps and whatnot. That's why we because we control that. So when we go, well, I accept it, and he doesn't give it, you're like, what? Fuck you, sundress. I don't, yeah. And our awareness is there. The fact that you're telling me means you're not even looking at yourself as part of the problem. Like, you're so far beyond what I want you to be doing when you interact with me and this subject, because you think we're on the same, we're having a conversation at the same level, and we're not. I'm not higher than you, but we're not talking, we're not. So, but I realize that comes from a place, so that's where I'm like, oh my God, you guys, get into your culture. Get into it so that you can figure out what's good and what's not. Because some of y'all, you know, we like some of y'all little white phrases and I didn't think it through before I started the sentence. But my point is, we would know more about the good stuff if you would focus on all of the stuff so that we could discern. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, y'all are like, what do you mean white? What's white? What? I don't think that's, what? You're so far. You're so far. Okay? So, you know, there's people like, I'm worried for her. I'm worried for him. All right. That doesn't help them. I don't know. I'm not mad at that. But like, cool. That's why I had to make something about the culty aspect of it, because like, I need y'all to see that too. One of her clients is out here, and I think it's getting really uncomfortable in that situation, because I think she's still in it a little bit. She's, you know, getting people off drugs, and L. Ron Hubbard was trying to do the same thing, and everyone preached, you know, but my goal is never to be like, tear down the cults, because that's just not a thing you can do. It's an organization you can't tear down a make-believe thing. You can make people stop believing in that thing by letting them know it was made up, and it's not even fun. No one's having a good time, actually. They're all like just pretending to work really hard all the time, everywhere. Not even doing fun stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like, nope, not eating good food, nope, none of that. And because they don't listen to us, because it's like people in the cult, and this is why I say white women have to be talking more about being white, right? Like, make it about your race. I say make it about race, and you think I mean make it about racism, and no, I just mean like, notice that some things are white people things, and that's cool, and you should say that. You should say that. And just see what happens. I don't know. I'm not a white, and I've never done that before, but it seems like when you guys do it, good stuff happens to you guys. And it's safer for me when I know, okay, you gonna be good. Yeah. Because, like, white women barely listen to me, and I'm trying to help for, like, and I was doing this for years for free, and they were still yelling at me, right? That's how also I could tell it's a cult. Because, like, these automatic reactions to me just, like, I don't know you, but you're protecting something. God, you're obsessed with us. Why don't you just, like, angry and laughing, but the vial with a smile thing is so gross. But then also realizing, like, y'all aren't even having a good time, then I want to help you, because if you're on team stop it, then I'm better off. Literally, that's what community does. In order for you to understand your role, you have to realize where are you? What are you doing? Zoom out, see yourself in the bigger picture of things. Stop thinking every white woman is just like, they're their own, I don't know, be curious, like, ask the question, call the thing a thing. Now, being difficult, historically, being difficult means difficult to control. That's okay. Be that now. What were the red flags here in her storytelling? That would be good, white women, too. But the whole, like, I'm struggling to see her as a victim really stresses me out. Because you're spending your energy doing something really not helpful for anybody here. Struggling to find her as a victim. And I understand what you're saying. I understand that she's just saying, like, but why were you the lens? Stop putting these lenses on. Like, why would that even be? But that's how black and white, you guys look at things. I felt something wrong from the first, because I felt like brave enough, strong enough to leave him. What are the facts? Not pressing charges, not reporting. He's so good at being professional. And that is the toxic neutrality. You know what I mean? Like, you're not listening. You're interpreting. When you're trying to believe someone or not believe them, you're interpreting. You're doing too much. Just listen. Yeah. But also, if there were, why would she be telling us? Why are you the audience? There is some kind of in whiteness that, like, of course someone should be sharing this thing with me. That's how y'all end up in MLMs. Okay, I'll give you this. A man should never be asking a woman for help on the street, right? Because we learned this. Because a man can ask a man for help. You can ask a man for help. Why am I helping you? We're more generous, we're more polite, Ted Bundy, right? Okay. A white woman is not going to tell you how she got her thing, how she made her money and became comfortable, successful, and this great thing that happened to her. She's not going to tell you how to get it. Okay. She's not for funsies being like, I did great and I'm going to show you how to do it too. And then why would you do that? Have they been known for sharing? No. They share sob stories for a purpose. You need to feel community elsewhere. You need to feel heard elsewhere. And like, there's just this given. It's almost like you don't see the camera, because it's not in front of your face. You're not zooming out enough to see the lady. It's just a lady who needs to go see the lady. And not more, not less, but she is providing us a lot of documentation for the ways in which the thought progresses and in which people can misinterpret, mischaracterize something based on emotion and their feelings. Oh God, I sound like you. You know what I mean? And equating strong feelings with strong truth, but like, are you listening to the actual story? And maybe that's just a gift. Those of us who don't get social cues get to just listen and be like, I'm listening to literally what you're saying. And people don't like that all the time. Because they just want you to go, oh, that sucks. And I've never been good at that. You get certain things. And if your boyfriend does something weird, I'm gonna be like, hey, what? That was weird. Why did you do that? Yeah, that's not, no, that doesn't make sense. Give me a phone. I don't know. I wrote something about the crush on to crash out pipeline. I'm gonna tell you something. Everyone who's concerned for the therapist and concerned and like that, I'm concerned for us all. Is it? He is us. She is us. He is us. So if you're concerned for him, do you know why I don't use my full name on here? You know why I couldn't do this until I was no longer at a job? Subscribe to my Patreon. Anyway, that felt like a thing. There's a reason that so many people seem like they're in a cult. It's because you are primed for it. Daniela's got a book coming out called The Culting of America. I have a chapter in it, well, an essay or whatever, where we talk about literally how this happened. Okay, this isn't a natural state. You were set up to not question things, and just decided that just things are set up the way they are, and you must follow and for your best interest and all that stuff. That's what whiteness and valuing nothing, purity, does. It just builds. It became its own thing. It's based on a not real thing, but it became huge, right? Like a fire doesn't have to exist for you to be yelling fire to have lasting repercussions, right? If someone comes in an auditorium and yells, race! And then hands half the room guns and says, they're trying to get you, they're trying to get you, they're trying to get, I don't know, right? Whether that was true or not, y'all had guns. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Why? But the normalization of that and the like, yeah, you can technically, leader of the free world, y'all. That's not how free works. This is not new. This is just trending. But like, we've been talking about this for a year. I've been talking about this for years on this internet, and Black women were talking about it way before me. It's just that when you're in a cult, you're not listening. You're not, I don't know, because I don't really, it's like you're not hearing it the way it's coming out. You're hearing an attack, you're hearing an accusation when someone's just going, oh, they don't let you eat? You know, do you really want to marry him? You're so young. And then you're a problem. Okay? There's just like, you put your hands up like this, or something, or you're like la 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 la. I don't see color is like the la 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 of eyes. You gotta be able to hold nuance, but in whiteness, it's literally like you're supposed to be spotless. Like there is no room for error. And second place is the first loser. Bruh, y'all are miserable. And I want better for you. Back one more thing. There's so many more things, but one thing I wanted to say is, stop telling people what to do, and don't tell me to block them. Don't tell other people to block her. I just don't think, I feel like you're thinking you're doing you're doing work by doing that. Telling people, ignore them. They're just jealous. So you're telling me to shut up. You're just telling me to be quiet. I want to keep talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's happening anyway. I think that's what's really, like you guys do this blocking thing. You're kind of doing what she's doing. I don't like it, so I block it. What she wants is attention. Yeah, she does. Why? And is she getting it? Why? What happens after that? Why is this happening? No, block her. Also, not only can I already did make my decision. I already addressed it. The fact that you're coming in to say ignore something I am already talking about. Weird. That's gaslighting behavior. I've already done it. So now what? Y'all just love going hindsight and like, this is what you should have done. Why are you so conclusive? Why do you sound like her? Like, y'all are all this. It's like, why are you? Spider-Man mean, you know? Like, having community is what keeps you safe too. And community don't know you exist, you don't speak, you share your own thing. Not to shut someone down, not to force a narrative and make people do what you would do. That is colonialism. Interpersonal colonialism. That's a description of narcissism. Interpersonal colonialism. Do what I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Stop telling me. How dare you? Do you think I'm some kind of human waiting for instruction? Yeah, but that's whiteness. Because black people don't do this. We look at what you do and we don't like it, we move on. Because guess what? Nothing we consider the future acts of the engagement, but there's so much formality going on with y'all. That's a pretend. That's a performance. I don't want to do that. You shouldn't hear someone be so firm about their correctness if they have white skin. Because, have you heard? You ever heard? The lying and the whitewashing and the white lies and all that? So that you don't know. Why would you be so sure? I'm not even that sure. I come on here and ask questions, and y'all think I ask questions with some calculated intent on harming someone. I'm not sure who, actually. I said I was gonna go before. But like, why would they be really mad? Do they think I'm accusing her? But even still, if I'm accusing her, if I said what's the power dynamic between doctor and patient in reality? Like, what is the power dynamic? I don't react to hierarchy well. Never did, haven't, won't. But I do want to understand from the perspective of other people, what's going on here. But there is an inherent follow authority, it's not what the country can do for you, what you could do, that you guys are taught. The right thing to do is go ahead, be kind, but that's how you end up in these positions, and that's how we got here, right? Kindness and sweetness and shiny and sweaty and skinny and sick. You're sick. You're sick. You're shiny and skinny and you're swaying. Sit down. Y'all are sick. I'm concerned that it's this easy for y'all to just believe yourselves, and you don't have anybody in your life that feels comfortable telling you you're not okay. This is because you're only getting confirmation, and you live in a world in which that is plausible for you, for your whole upbringing to somehow expect validation and confirmation, because that's what you guys do in public, in social. Yep. I'm not going to even feed into your delusions, right? I mean, I am going to feed into. I'm not going to challenge it because I don't want to be the one. I would never do what she's doing. I think it's an instinct, but I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to be the one to tell her. And then now we get men who are like this, and billionaires, and women. This comes from a real place. This is real. This is happening all over the place. But just because it's the first time you're seeing it doesn't mean it's the first time it's happening, or that it's a special occasion. Yeah, you need to have conflict. You need to be able to have a girlfriend that goes, and if you like it, I love it, meaning I'm supporting you no matter what you do, but I would not. I don't know that you guys have that. Do white people have a, if you like it, I love it? Do they have a, all right, girl? I don't think they do. We have many ways to tell you, I wouldn't, but I'm with you. Obviously, I'm team you, but it's like, if you disagree with anything, that is a disagreement with the person. Whoa. What? We're different people, but then you see that's why they all look alike, and it's like the safety of similarity and not standing out because someone's the target. There's always target practice. Guns, back to guns. But yeah, you have to be able to do that and withstand that, because this is the result, right? Just seeking more confirmation. This is how you end up with ChatGPT. So GPT, whatever. Because people are going, oh, there's this psychosis that's being induced from it. Yeah, okay, why? How? Because these are those people, right? The people who are, now they're getting it. And like, yeah, it's a drug. So, you know, it's going further back, zooming further out than identifying the problem. The truth person text me, hey, I know you told me not to do this. I know you're gonna hate this, but this is what I did. Because yeah, and yeah, I wanna see both. What, cause I make decisions. I'd say all the time, I'm about to do this thing. Did I do it? No. Judge me. Okay. You know, we gotta like, what are the real stakes? The real stakes, right? You know? And what are systemic, hypothetical, could happen, concern, like this? What can you actually do and stuff? What are you using it for? It feels like white people use labels as defining, and like what they think defining is creating, like naming something is the thing. So like before it had a name, it wasn't. Until a doctor says you weren't. Doctors made drapetomania, guys. Once you know that doctors created a term for wanting to run away from your enslavement, it makes you kind of look at them like, oh, they're just dudes. Well, doctors are just people. Doctors are just people. This is how you got priests, because priests are just people. Like, you're not, the pattern isn't patterning to some of y'all. The way you say the power structure has a lot to do with how it's used. You know what I'm saying? So she's just weaponizing the power structure that she created in her head, say, he was the one in power, he was the one in power, he was the one in power. Why do you keep saying it? Because I'm feeling like now I'm questioning it.